Hello coffee lovers. Today we are going through the tune-up kit for the Pasquini Livia G4. Things that are included in the kit: we have a brew head screen, brew head gasket, and the shower screen screw, and a tablet of Cafiza to soak our diffuser in and our basket in the portafilter while we're actually doing the tune-up. And one other thing that I should mention is this kit is different than the original Livia 90. So if you have an earlier Livia, then this particular kit won't work for you. It will only work with this model. Okay, the first thing we're going to do though is take all the accessories off of our machine and flip it upside down. And the reason we're going to do that is because it's very easy to install a brew head gasket, relatively speaking, when the machine is flipped over upside down. And if you've ever installed a brew head gasket with your machine, I'm going to get an awl here to get this other panel off. There are two cup warmer panels that you need to get off. They're nice stainless steel, so you don't want to do that. But I was saying, if you've ever installed a brew head gasket with the machine upright, you'll realize it's kind of a difficult process. So we're going to take advantage of this machine, and it's pretty small, so we're going to flip it upside down. So I've taken the drip tray grate out, the water tank lid, and the two cup warmer panels. And the last thing I'm going to take out is our portafilter. And that right there are all the accessories. I'm going to tuck the hoses back down in here a little bit. And kind of all the stainless steel has been removed, so I'm not too worried about scratching anything. But just in case, I'm getting our towels ready to set the machine on when I flip this over. Okay, so why don't we do this? Get these ready a little better. And this one is a little bit heavier, so if you you might need to find someone at your house to help you out with this. And I think what I'm going to do is just flip this over. Watch those nice side panels there. And then I'll move the towels in place where I want. The edges of this machine are so nice. That mirror finish is really nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do is lift this up in the front, put that down. I'm going to take this one and do the same thing in the back. And then we will be ready. There we go. It's a really nice move. It's something that the technicians here do all the time to avoid any scratches on the machine because they're right on your counter at home. We don't want to scratch them up. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take our flathead screwdriver and take out the brew screen screw right here on top. And when we take this out, the screw will come, obviously, as well as the shower screen, but then our diffuser is going to come out as well. And the diffuser is not in the kit. It's not replaced in the kit. It doesn't need to be, but it should get a good cleaning while we are installing this kit. So there's the screw. And right now I'm holding two pieces. I'm holding our screen and our diffuser, one of which, the screen, is replaced in the kit. As you can see, this is very, very dirty. It needed to be replaced. And what I've heard from a lot of customers is what they'll do is they'll actually soak this too. If they want two screens, they'll soak this too, so they'll have one clean one and one being used. So if you feel like doing that, go ahead and do it. The screen does see a lot of wear and tear though, so eventually you will need to buy a new one to replace one of the two you have. So we're going to do that now. And then we're also going to put, if I can get this basket out without the flathead, maybe I'll need it. We're going to soak all three of these things right now. There we go. And then I got my tablet right here. And then while we're getting our brew head gasket out here, which can be quite a process, we'll have all of these things cleaning over here, which is great. All you got to do is just let this sit there and soak. It's really all that has to happen. It's a good product. It does all the work for you. Okay, back to the brew head. So with this brew head gasket, you can see along the outside edge, you have these little tiny channels. Those are actually there to help you remove the brew head gasket. And there's nothing better than a nice set of awls to help you out with that process. Because as you can see here, it fits right there along that groove. And I have a bunch of different ones with different angles. You're going to have to get creative. I'm probably going to have to use a flathead screwdriver too, but you'll see that in just a sec. So I'm going to start off with this one because it's really easy. It's got like a 45 followed by another 45. It's really weird looking. All right, so I'm going around the edge right now, and I've already found one of those little grooves. I'm going to put my awl in that groove and try to get, my goal right now is just to get on the underside of the gasket and start prying it up. And obviously this one, wow, this is one of the easiest brew head gaskets I've ever taken out. And I can hurt the edge of it because we're going to put a new one in. So there we go. This is now officially out. That was really, 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 really easy. This is, you can see exactly where this, where the portafilter was making a seal. Here it is, before and after. Now this brew head gasket in particular is conical. As you can see, it's not flat. And that conical edge, you need to see that conical edge as you're installing it. That is the edge that should be making the seal with your portafilter. You should not see your flat edge when you're installing this. So it should go down just like that with the conical edge facing you. So that's really important to remember, otherwise this is not going to work at all. So that's our used one. We got that out of there. This brew head in particular is in great shape. There's not a lot of coffee, there's not a lot of residue. If you have a lot of residue at home, you might want to get a vacuum cleaner with like a small attachment and get in there, get all that coffee out, because it's really acidic and eat away at your brand new gasket that you're about to install. Other things you can use are maybe those keyboard air pressure dust things, and spray that in there, get everything out. But for now, we are going to install this gasket. Remember, the conical edge should be facing you, and the only thing that is keeping your brew head gasket in is friction. So this can be, this can involve a certain amount of elbow grease. So I'm getting this in there, and I'm actually just pushing down. This has been a really easy brew head gasket to install, and if you've ever installed a brew head gasket on a different machine, you can know how much of a pain it is. And one thing we can do right now is use the portafilter as a tool to make sure that our entire brew head gasket is down where it needs to be. And as you can see, it's doing great. It's going over farther to the other side because the whole assembly isn't in there. But that's great. I mean, that, like I said, that was really easy. Brew head gasket is out. Now we're ready for our diffuser. Hasn't been soaking that long, but we should be all right. I'm going to take this out, start kind of giving this a little scrub, and then give it a rinse here in the water. This is our basket. Dunk that in here, give it a nice little rinse. I'll wipe it down on the towel over here. Then we'll get our diffuser out and get that installed. These diffusers can get really, really grimy if you don't keep up with getting the coffee off of them. This diffuser in particular is in great shape. Cafiza works great. I think I've gotten every last bit of coffee off of this diffuser. One thing to remember about the diffuser is it's specific in terms of what side should be facing which, just like the brew head gasket. And as you can see, wow, we got this really clean. There is not one speck of coffee on this diffuser, which is fantastic. Okay, but like I was saying, there is a groove on this side specifically for the screen. It fits on there just like this. It won't fit like that on this side. So it's really important that this area that you see right here with all these different levels, which you don't see here, is what is facing you when you're installing this. And we're just going to put this on here. It's a snug fit. So I've kind of turned our diffuser and screen into one piece here, just so we don't have to align it again. Do this all in one step. Here's our screw. There we go. The screen still isn't all the way on the diffuser. I just want to make sure we can get it there. Okay, we're good. Now we're going to line this up in the middle. It might take you a couple times to line it up. I usually like to start, I usually try to start the threads with my finger instead of the screwdriver. It's easier. That way you can kind of feel, make sure you're not cross-threaded. I think we are all good there. So I'm going to finish tightening this with the screwdriver. We only need to finger tighten this. We don't need to go any tighter than that. You're just going to make more work for yourself in the future if you go any tighter than that. Okay, there we go. Now let's just do one final check with the portafilter here. Make sure everything is aligned and ready to go. And look at that. That's great. So we have officially just installed the tune-up kit on this Livia 90 G4. Things that you should look out for in terms of putting the basket back, in terms of notifications to let you know that you probably need to install this, is if you see coffee or water pouring over the edge of your portafilter while you're pulling a shot. So let's say you were pulling a shot right now and you saw coffee or water coming over the top edge. That actually means that this seal right here is failing and you need to replace your brew head gasket. Or if just coffee is tasting off, if you're not tasting the difference between grounds, between blends, that can be because your screen and your basket have so much coffee residue on there that it's kind of affecting your current shot. So it's really important to get those clean and get all the coffee residue off. Or if you're just noticing that your pump is working harder while pulling a shot, that's because it's working through more pressure with your screen and your basket. But other than that, that is the Livia 90 tune-up kit. If you have any problems installing it, feel free to give us a call here at Seattle Coffee Gear, and good luck. Thank you.